What's good, YouTube? It's your boy EGF Hoops here, back with another amazing YouTube video. As just about the title, we're about to go over why/how the Golden State Warriors can be your champions once and again in 2022. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit that sub button, like the video. We're trying to hit 50 subs on this channel. Go check out my main channel. We're trying to hit 500 subs on there. And don't forget to check out my social medias for this channel. EGF Hoops on Instagram and EGF Hoops on TikTok. TikTok, we're trying to hit 1,000 followers. We have over 25,000 likes, so you should go check that out. Now on to the video. We're going to go over how the Golden State Warriors can get back to being the NBA champs. In this video, I'm going to address what they should do this offseason, address their play this season, address the Klay Thompson situation. Last season, we saw the Warriors go 39-33 and become the 9th seed after losing their playoff spot to Memphis. This season, we saw Steph become the scoring champ and finish as the finals for MVP. With his next couple best players being Wiggins, Draymond, and Kelly Oubre, you might be asking, how can Golden State get back to the NBA championship? Well, with Klay coming back and assuming he's even half the player he once was, they should be a lock for the playoffs. But the big question is Klay's health. With Klay missing back-to-back seasons, I'm unsure of how he will come back. With him tearing/rupturing ligaments in 2 different legs, it's truly unsure of how he will play and if he will be back to all-star level that quickly. We've seen players come back from both injuries before, but not one in 2 separate legs. Now, me personally, I have no doubt he will come back, as maybe 90% of the offensive player he once was, with him being a sharpshooter who made quick off-ball movements, who hopefully can have the same efficiency he once did. But what a lot of people aren't considering when talking about one part of the Splash Bros is what really made them work together on the other side of the ball, aka Klay's defense. I don't know or believe that Klay will come back with even 60% of what he was on that side of the ball. I feel his lateral quickness may not be as good as it once was, with Klay now being 31 and guard play only improving. We'll see Klay possibly guard the likes of Dame, D. Mitch, Book, Paul George, Kawhi, Luka, LeBron, just to name a couple players who they see in the Western playoffs alone. And I'm not sure if he'd be able to handle that anymore ever again, to be honest. But assuming Klay turns into the average defender and is 80 to 90% of who he was on offense, Golden State still might have a chance to become NBA champs. Last, let's see how the Warriors was without Steph last season to attack some of the obvious problems. It's pretty clear that Steph Curry is the only offensive power this team has. His second best offensive weapon is Andrew Wiggins, who has been known to be fairly inconsistent. Without Steph, the Warriors went 2-7 this season. And no one really stepped up besides Wiggins and Poole, and that still wasn't really enough. Everybody else's stats stayed pretty stagnant. With Curry on the court, the Warriors ranked 13th in offense, and without him on the court, they had the worst offense by any team in the last 5 years. It's fair to say they have some problems offensively. Defensively, they was middle of the pack too, with Draymond and an inconsistent Wiggins being their best defenders. They ranked 18th in that metric. So with them being mid-ranking on both ends, a two-way player like Klay possibly coming back could help the Warriors, but I do think that wouldn't be enough. The Warriors should bring in another two-way player in case Klay doesn't come back the same, and should invest in another big if they truly want to win now. Now, a rumor right now is Bradley Beal. I don't think that is the best thing for the Warriors personally, because they would likely have to trade Wiggins, their picks, and James Wiseman for Beal, and which would leave them with more gaps in the depth chart and even a worse defensive team. They're already 18th. This would make them worse, in which will result in a first or second round exit for sure. So with Beal out of the equation, let's address the Warriors cap situation and how it can be used. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry make about $106 million combined. The cap for the 2021 to 2022 season is about $112 million combined. With Kelly leaving and the picks they have now getting traded, the Warriors will have about $133 million committed to next season, meaning the only way they can acquire players of such caliber is through trade. They also have a $6 million mid-level exception and $4 million in trade exception. So in order for the trades to work, the salaries must match or less has to be taken in by the Warriors. They can still sign a player with their mid-level exception of $6 million or sign a player at the league minimum. With that being said, and knowing they can't sign a Kawhi Leonard in free agency, it's up to Bob Myers making trades to get this team in the title contention. With the Warriors Big Three already mentioning that in a quote, as I'll have on screen, that they want them to do whatever it takes to get them in the title contention now, as I think their gap to win maybe another ring or two has about 5 years on it. I think Dre, Klay, and Curry all is in the same timeline, so they should probably get players to match that or be close to that if they want to maximize their chances to win. The first trade I'd make/explore is for Miles Turner, who I think will be a better fit over Ben Simmons or Bradley Beal. He's a defensive-minded center who has a decent three-point shot in his arsenal. With a possible pick and pop in his arsenal, he's still fairly young, with him only being 25, and he only makes 18 a year. His contract has 2 years left on it, and on top of spreading the floor, he led the league in blocks last season. Miles only averaged 13.7 rebounds and 1 assist last season, so trading for him shouldn't be that hard for the Pacers, who should look into a rebuild. I think a fair offer for both sides would be Miles Turner for Andrew Wiggins, pick 14, Golden State's Warriors pick swap in 2022, and Golden State's second round pick in maybe 2022 or 2023. For a team that's rebuilding, I feel Indiana would / should take that trade. It's vital for the Warriors to keep Wiseman that number 7 pick for the next trade I'm going to propose. Maybe a few tweaks with the main pieces being Wiggins and 14 for Turner should be something that the Pacers will accept. Both Turner and Wiggins is only a year apart. You could argue Wiggins is better than Turner, but Miles fits with what Golden State needs more, and I feel like Andrew fits with what the Pacers need more. With that being said, the Warriors would still need a two-way wing. I feel like Jeremy Grant would be the perfect player for Golden State. The trade I proposed for this was Jeremy Grant and Josh Jackson for James Wiseman, pick 7, Golden State Warriors pick swap in 2023, Kevin Looney, Eric Pascal, Alan Smailagic, and their trade exception of $4 million. Now, it seems like Detroit's getting a lot of young talent, but the return of Grant and Jackson would be great for Golden State. This trade may need a couple of tweaks for everything to go through, but this seems like the most complete, and like something Detroit probably wouldn't / couldn't decline, since Jeremy Grant is 27. He's not really on the timeline of the Golden State. He's not really on the timeline of the Detroit Pistons. Now, those are the two main trades I do, leaving with the starting lineup of Curry, Clay, Jeremy, Draymond, and Turner. A defensive powerhouse of a team with a viable offensive attack with the Splash Bros and Jeremy, and a center who can shoot as well. Their bench will consist of Damian Lee, Josh Jackson, and Jordan Poole so far, but they will still need more depth. That's where the mid-level exception comes in. They could sign someone for upwards of $6 million a year and fill the rest of their depth chart out with players on minimum contracts. Some players the Warriors can get with their mid-level exception this year would probably be Tony Snell, PJ Tucker, Trevor Ariza, or maybe a Jeff Green, who would all fit that 4th spot well and could provide defense and scoring off the bench. A couple of players who would be good for them as league minimums would be maybe a Melo, Jeff Teague, Dwight Howard, Nicholas Batum, Austin Rivers. So after all this has been said and established, I think I've come up with a realistic roster for the Warriors next season with the starting lineup of Curry, Clay, Jeremy Grant, Draymond, and Miles Turner, and with their bench containing Damian Lee, Jordan Poole, Josh Jackson, Jeff Green, and Dwight Howard. Their reserves will probably be Michael Mulder, who's on contract for next season, the next 2 seasons, and the same thing for Gary Payton II. And that's about it for this video, y'all. I love y'all more than I love myself. Don't forget to go check out my TikTok. I'm trying to hit 1,000 followers on there. Go check out my Instagram. I post on there pretty frequently, just random basketball things. We're trying to get up on there as well. And hopefully y'all enjoyed the editing that it took to make this video. I tried harder than normal. I feel like this is going to be my new editing style. With that being said, I am only going to be able to upload maybe 3 times a week is the max, but usually twice a week. So that should be it, y'all. I love y'all more than I love myself. Go check out all my social medias. Oh, yeah. And don't forget that sub button. Hit the notification bell. Comment down below what you feel like the Warriors should do next year. And that's about it for y'all. That's about it for this video. I love y'all more than I love myself. EGF Hoops out. Peace.